He sent them out to proclaim God's kingdom and to heal the sick. He said to them, "Take nothing for the journey, no walking stick, no bag, no bread, no money, not even an extra shirt. Whatever house you enter, remain there until you leave that place. Wherever they don't welcome you as you leave that city, shake the dust off your feet. As a witness against them, they departed and went through the villages, proclaiming the good news and healing people everywhere." Herod the ruler heard about everything that was happening. He was confused because some people were saying that John had been raised from the dead, others that Elijah had appeared, and still others that one of the ancient prophets had come back to life. He said, "I beheaded John, so now who am I hearing about?" Herod wanted to see him. When the apostles returned, they described for Jesus what they had done. Taking them with him, Jesus withdrew privately to a city called Bethsaida. When the crowd figured it out, they followed him. He welcomed them, spoke to them about God's kingdom, and healed those who were sick. He said to them, and healed those who were sick. When the day was almost over, the 12 came to him and said, "Send the people away so that they can go to the nearby villages and countryside and find lodging and food, for we are in a disgrace." He told them, "You give them something to eat." But they said, "We have no more than 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, unless we go and buy food for all these people." They said this because about 5,000 men were present. Jesus said to his disciples, "Seat them in groups of about 50. They did so, and everyone was seated. He took the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish, looked up to heaven, blessed them, and broke them, and gave them to the disciples to set before the crowd. Everyone ate until they were full. He asked them, "Who do the crowd say that I am?" They answered, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, and still others that one of the ancient prophets has come back to life." He asked them, "And what about you? Who do you say that I am?" Peter answered, "The Christ sent from God." Jesus gave them strict orders not to tell this to anyone. He said the human one must suffer many things and be rejected by the chief priests, legal experts, and elders. Chief priests, legal experts, and the elders, and be killed and be raised on the 3rd day. Jesus said to everyone, "All who want to come after me must say no to themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me. All who want to save their lives will lose them. But all who lose their lives because of me will save them. What advantage do people have if they gain the whole world for themselves, yet perish or lose their lives? Whoever is ashamed of me and of my words, the human one will be ashamed of that person when he comes in his glory and in the glory of the Father and of the holy angels. I assure you, some standing here today won't die before they see God's kingdom." About 8 days after Jesus said these things, he took Peter, John, and James and went up on a mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed and his clothes flashed white like lightning. 2 men, Moses and Elijah, were talking with him. They were clothed with heavenly splendor and spoke about Jesus' departure, Greek exodus, which he would achieve in Jerusalem. Peter and those with him were almost overcome by sleep, but they managed to stay awake and saw his glory as well as the 2 men with him. As the 2 men were about to leave Jesus, Peter said, "Master, it's good that we're here. We should construct 3 shrines, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he didn't know what he was saying. Peter was still speaking when a cloud overshadowed them. As they entered the cloud, they were overcome with awe. Then a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, my chosen one. Listen to him." Even as the voice spoke, Jesus was found alone. They were speechless and at the time told no one what they had seen. The next day after Jesus, Peter, John, and James had come down from the mountain, a large crowd met Jesus. A man from the crowd shouted, "Teacher, I beg you to take a look at my son, my only child. Look, a spirit seizes him without any warning. He screams. It shakes him and causes him to foam at the mouth. I begged your disciples to throw it out, but they couldn't." Jesus answered, "You faithless and crooked generation, how long will I be with you and put up with you? Bring your son here." While he was coming, the demon threw him down and shook him violently. Jesus spoke harshly to the unclean spirit, healed the child, and gave him back to his father. Everyone was overwhelmed by God's greatness. While everyone was marveling at everything Jesus was doing, he said to his disciples, "Take these words to heart. The human one is about to be delivered into human hands." They didn't understand this saying. Its meaning was hidden from them, so they couldn't grasp it, and they were afraid to ask him about it. An argument arose among the disciples about which of them was the greatest. Aware of their deepest thoughts, Jesus took a little child and had the child stand beside him. Jesus said, "Whoever welcomes this child in my name welcomes me. Whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Whoever is least among you all is the greatest." John replied, "Master, we saw someone throwing out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he isn't in our group of followers." But Jesus replied, "Don't stop him, because whoever isn't against you is for you." As the time approached when Jesus was to be taken up into heaven, he determined to go to Jerusalem. He sent messengers on ahead of him. Along the way, they entered a Samaritan village to prepare for his arrival, but the Samaritan village refused to welcome him because he was determined to go to Jerusalem. When the disciples James and John saw this, they said, "Lord, do you want us to call fire down from heaven to consume them?" But Jesus turned and spoke sternly to them, and they went on to another village. As Jesus and his disciples traveled along the road, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens, and the birds in the sky have nests, but the human one has no place to lay his head." So then Jesus said to someone else, "Follow me." He said, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." Jesus said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead, but you go and spread the news of God's kingdom." Someone else said to Jesus, "I will follow you, Lord, but first let me say goodbye to those in my house." Jesus said to him, "No one who puts a hand on the plow and looks back is fit for God's kingdom." Chapter 10. During this time, after these things, the Lord commissioned 72 others and sent them on ahead in pairs to every city and place he was about to go. He said to them, "The harvest is bigger than you could imagine, but there are few workers. Therefore, plead with the Lord of the harvest to send out workers for his harvest. Go, be warned, though, that I am sending you out as lambs among wolves. Carry no wallet, no bag, and no sandals. Don't even greet anyone along the way. Whenever you enter a house, first say, 'May peace be on this house.' If anyone shares God's peace, then your peace will rest on that person. If not, your blessing will return to you. Remain in this house, eating and drinking whatever they set before you, for workers deserve their pay. Don't move from house to house. Whenever you and the people welcome you, eat what they set before you, heal the sick who are there, and say to them, 'God's kingdom has come upon you.' Whenever you enter a city and the people don't welcome you, go out into the streets and say as a complaint against you, 'We brush off the dust of your city that is collected on our feet.' But know this, God's kingdom has come to you. I assure you that Sodom will be better off on judgment day than that city. How terrible it will be for you, Chorazin. How terrible it will be for you, Bethsaida, if the miracles done among you had been done in Tyre and Sidon. They would have changed their hearts and lives long ago. They would have sat around in beautiful funeral clothes and ashes. But Tyre and Sidon will be better off at the judgment than you. And you, Capernaum, will you be honored by being raised up to heaven? No. You'll be cast down to the place of the dead. Whoever listens to you listens to me. Whoever rejects you rejects me. Whoever rejects me rejects the one who sent me." The 72 returned joyously, saying, "Lord, even the demons submit themselves to us in your name." Jesus replied, "I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Look, I've given you authority to crush snakes and scorpions under your feet. I've given you authority over all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. Nevertheless, don't rejoice because the spirits submit to you. Rejoice instead because your names are written in heaven." At that very moment, Jesus overflowed with joy and said, I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you've hidden these things from the wise and intelligent and shown them to babies. Indeed, Father, this brings you happiness. My Father has entrusted all things over to me. No one knows who the Son is except the Father, or who the Father is except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wants to reveal him. Turning to the disciples, he said privately, happy are the eyes that see what you see. I assure you that many prophets and kings wanted to see what you see and hear what you hear, but they didn't. Legal experts stood up to test